Scallywags. All you scallywags. All right. Another Friday. Hard to believe, right? Oh my God, someone showed up. You must have nothing to do. This is like a preview of what this mustache is going to look like in bits. It's going to be horrible. I can't wait to shave this thing off my face. I'm so terrified. But like, the worst part about it is having to explain to my family why I have a mustache. Because so Joe, I don't know if you've been paying attention to certain things, but at SQL Bits, I'm doing a charity thing where I'm dressing up like Freddie Mercury at Live Aid to deliver my regular session, and he has quite a mustache for that, and so I can't grow the whole beard because he didn't have the whole beard, so I am growing the mustache to participate in this charity event. So that's my story, and I don't know. That's why I don't have a whole beard. That's why I just have a mustache, and that's why explaining it to my parents is a little like anyone who sees me is a little bit awkward. Today's my daughter's birthday, and so there's like video calls going on, and they're like, "What's on your face? What's wrong with you?" Well, I have been. That's why I got scruffed, but I don't know. Because due to England's weird laws, I'm not terribly confident that I would be able to buy the necessary equipment to shave a beard off on short notice. I think I might have to apply for a license or a permit to get like some clippers, because they have some weird stuff. And I don't want to get like busted by the police. Like, look, we found this weapon. I'm like, I was going to shave my beard. They have weird laws over there, man. They like won't sell eggs and flour to people under 18. Like, you can't buy like plastic knives and stuff. And the police like go around to like various like projects in England are called estates. And like there's all these like funny Twitter things of like the police there going around to various projects and like, we did a weapon sweep and look what we found. There's like bike tires and like a pair of scissors and like a butter knife. It's nuts. Like wow, people are insane. But yeah, I don't know. Funny stuff. All right. So does anyone actually have like a SQL Server question, or you just come here to hear me babble about other things? It's fine either way. I can go on for days. I don't know. We're getting perilously close to breaking double digits. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You had a question last week that I missed because I got embarrassed and turned the camera. Actually, no, there's nothing from chat was coming in, and I felt very strange, like, because there's like silence. And I was like, oh boy. All right. So one, I like to use SQL Server non-AD logins for linked servers. Is there any reason I should switch to AD users instead? I can't think of a good one. For me, the linked server question comes down to a couple things. One, if you're on a version of SQL Server prior to 2012, you need SA privileges to be able to use like cross-database statistics, which can make like running queries kind of awkward. And I'm not saying that you should go and use SA for all your linked servers. I'm saying that you should probably maybe like get on SQL Server 2012 Service Pack 1-ish, I believe is when they fixed it. So I would be more concerned with that. Then like, for linked servers, like just really like bare minimum permissions to get in and get out, and like don't try to run the query across there. Whatever data you have, just go grab it and pull it locally. There's this really awful thing that happens with remote. I forget if it's updates and deletes too, but it's this really horrible thing that happens with remote inserts, where SQL Server will behind the scenes turn it into like a row by row thing. Instead of like doing the insert all at once, it like just sticks a row in at a time. I think Max Vernon was telling me about it. I'll go ask him, and I don't know, tell him to blog about it or something, because I don't even have enough SQL servers to make a link server. Julie asked, actually, Julie, I have a question. Did you get the stickers I sent? Because I sent those out. Kevin said he got his. I wanted to make sure you got yours too. Do I have any suggestions for learning Visual Studio? Man, I don't even know Visual Studio. Man. No. I mean, what do you want to do in Visual Studio? Are you like using SQL Server in Visual Studio? Are you like learning or doing C#? Like, what do you want to do with Visual Studio that you want to learn? Learning Visual Studio is like, how do I learn SSMS? It's like, I don't know, watch shortcuts. Silly stuff. Yeah, those virtual labs are like disappear. Oh, actually, I don't know. I can't say that they're disappearing, but the one that I really liked was failover clusters, and the Microsoft Virtual Lab that I used to have like bookmarked for failover cluster stuff disappeared recently. They got rid of a whole bunch of them. Julie says, I'm developing SSIS and database. Oh wow, okay. Good question. I don't know. I don't really use SSIS. I hear that bids is what a lot of people open. If you're on Twitter, I would harass Andy Leonard about that, or just like go to his Andy Leonard's blog, because he writes a lot about that type of thing, where I am absolutely useless when it comes to SSIS. I'm like demonstrably bad. An SSIS lab, wow. Maybe I should go do that. Maybe I'll become like a really good SSIS consultant and give Andy a run for his money. Just kidding. I could never do that. It's too late for me to go learning those tricks. I gotta stick to the tricks I know at this point. So what do you use SSIS for? I'm curious. Like, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think SSIS has many wonderful applications. I'm just curious, what are you guys using it for? ETL, yeah, that's pretty common. Probably better than PowerShell for ETL, right? Anyone ever tried mangling text files in PowerShell? It is painful. Oh. Pull files from FTP. Wow, yeah. I used to I used to do that with T-SQL. I had a whole thing set up. I had a store procedure that would create a cookie. Like it would create a user cookie, and it would feed it to curl, and curl would go check this URL for a new file. And whew, man, that was funny to write. Mostly because it worked, and I have no idea how or why it worked. Files are created from Marketing Cloud. Wow. Sounds intense. There was I remember I used to have had a, was it 7-zip or like one of those zip file? Well, like I had a store procedure that would like open up the command line executable for those and like unzip stuff. It was brutal. I don't know why I never learned like it. I don't know why I was like, I got to do this in T-SQL. Like I got to write a store procedure that does this, because there are like so many better like languages that would have been good. But at that point, it would have been like, oh crap, I have to learn a whole new language. Like I already knew T-SQL. You could just like feed stuff to XP command shell all day long. FileZilla is good for that though. FileZilla is, I don't know, the best FTP program. I don't know. I thought warFTP was cool when I was younger. I used to run FTP servers off my computer, and like I thought it was funny because I would like share MP3s with my friends. And warFTP, that was I think like one of the first client server things they ever got into. The other one was Hotline server. That was crazy in like the 90s. Hotline, man, that was a wild west. You could get anything. I remember like when I was getting my NT certs, that was like I used Hotline, and that was like there was like wares all over the place, and that's where I got like so like I would like pull computers out of the trash for like companies that went out of business, and I set up like a home network in my room, and with like installed stuff from Hotline. It was like all the NT 4.0. I'm probably gonna get arrested for like piracy right now. Josh Darnell says hello. Does Josh have a SQL class? I don't know. Josh is now dba.stackexchange famous. He answered a question that hit the hot network question list, and now forget it, man. He's going to be too good for us soon. He's going to have a moderator badge. And it's going to be off. It's going to be very lonely without him. He's the only web developer I can stand. You're a hot network question, man. It's not fun. No, you can't lie. People are gonna be asking you for autographs. People are gonna be quoting you in questions. People are gonna say Josh Darnell says this, and then they're gonna ask a question about what you said. They're gonna expect you to answer it. They're gonna just wait for you. SQL DevDB has another good question. I want to give the reporting tool access via views. Is it better to do this by creating the views directly on the data mart or creating views on the reporting tool's local SQL server and have those views go to the views on the double hop? I think the fewer hops you get into, the better generally. I prefer fewer hops. The more hops there are, the more complicated things get. It's not even from like a technical perspective, but just like the poor optimizer now has to like unravel a view and then go across to another server and unravel a view. And you just gotta give that optimizer a break, man. Give it a rest. Just let it just do things once. Josh is so famous. He just said LOL famous and like left. If anyone needs WordPress consulting, you should talk to Josh. He's very good at CSS. He helped me tremendously on my site. It would look awful if it weren't for him. Everything would be misaligned and out of whack, and like all of the form text would be the same color as the background. It would be a disaster. So if I ever make $1 million, the first thing I'm going to do is hire Josh to just hang out and do nothing for a few months. Pretend he's working on my WordPress site. The rest of the $1 million is going to go to booze and women, though. Forget it. Yeah, glad to help. See, what I should have done is gamified it, and I should have. I should have like asked a question on like web dev. Is there like a web dev Stack Exchange, or is it just Stack Overflow? Let's see. Josh says, I needed to add a filter to an index view that required a left join the other day. Do you ever run into that? How do you work around that restriction? No. And that's one of the unfortunate things about indexed views. Actually, I think. Let me go look, because I sort of remember. Hold on. Indexed views. I remember. I know there's a lot of weird stuff you can't do in an indexed view, but I can't remember. Yeah, so you can use not exists, I think. I think not exists would be your friend there. I would instead of messing around with more joins, if you need to find something that exists or doesn't exist, I would do that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong though. Let's see. Louis says SB who is active get locks equals 1. The lock column has lots of info in it. How is best to decipher it? It shouldn't have a lot of information in it. When that happens, I think that something might be a bit amok. So like I know it's like sometimes when you run a modification query and you do get locks equals 1, you might end up seeing a bunch of information from like system tables, and I generally tend to ignore that. when I and like focus on the user tables at hand. Because when I see that stuff, I think like something is weird, something weird happened in the XML. Another good way to see locks that is actually a while back when I was talking to Adam, not like I don't talk to Adam, but I was talking to Adam specifically about SP who is active, and actually over on the documentation page. I don't know if he mentions explicitly that get locks equals 1 is can be kind of tough on the server when there's a lot of locking activity going on. But he told me about a couple commands in the documentation. I put the link in the chat there. So if you are an SP who is active with get task info equals 2 and get additional info equals 1, you get this additional info. Obviously, you get this additional info column that gives you more summarized lock information that can be helpful in troubleshooting stuff too. Let's see. Darren says, I've seen this error before, and I get the basic premise. The query processor ran out of internal resources, cannot produce a query plan. Blah, 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 blah. No. Well, no. So the reason that comes up is that someone has passed in a very so whenever I'm going to say let me rewind that a little. When that's happened to me, it was back when I was working with relativity, and the way that the GUI worked, maybe at the time, maybe it's changed, but people could pass in like a list of IDs, and what they would do is they would run a saved search. This like very long list of IDs would show up as the results. Then they would copy and paste that into the search box for another search, and they would say like where ID in or not in or whatever, and there would be like 100,000 IDs pasted in or something. And that's usually when I've seen the query processor barf, is when there's just a very long list of ins or ors or something that has just made things far too difficult for it to carry on. Yeah, exactly. Putting like a bunch of stuff in an in clause can definitely ruin the optimizer's day. So there's really no way to force that except to tell your users to stop being ding dongs and write more sane queries. If someone truly needs to like a 10,000 or 30,000 or 40,000 item in clause, just get a temp table, man. Get a room. It's mean. It's mean to do that. It's mean to do that to people, especially the optimizer, that delicate, fragile optimizer, right? Man, that thing's crazy. So I was excited, kind of, because over on Twitter, I made a couple polls about versions of SQL Server that people were planning on moving to, because 2008 and 2008 R2 are going to be end of life in like 5 months, like 4 or 5 months, like this summer. This would be I'm gonna throw my own personal summer jam when that happens. I can't wait to not look at those things anymore. But I was excited because I put up polls about what people were moving to, and the first funny thing that happened is twice as many people said that they were going to 2014 as 2012, which going to 2012 as 2014, which cracked me up. It was like 11% to 2012 and 5% to 2014. That was really funny. A lot of the 2017 was the big winner there, but then I put up another one that included 2019. A lot of people said that they were moving to 2019. So I think Microsoft might have a hit on their hands at this point. I think they might go platinum with 2019. That's gonna be fun to watch, especially if like people aren't just like bull crapping me about adoption. I don't want to swear because I think like YouTube's algorithm might flag me as adult content. But if people aren't like people are really moving to 2019, it's going to be fun. Because like from a consulting point of view, I feel like kind of Groundhog Day with this stuff that I have to keep telling people about and fixing. And Microsoft is finally like taking the Groundhog Day stuff out of that, and I get to focus on cooler problems. Like this week, I've been helping out my friend Mike Walsh over at Straight Path with some query tuning stuff, and there were just like some amazingly long running queries that just needed like one or two tiny little tweaks that weren't like Groundhog Day stuff to tweak, and it was just so nice to be like, no, look, it's crazy. You've got these two index spools over here. When we create these indexes, it takes a minute instead of an hour. Or like when we go from trying to like self-reference this table variable update and like dump things into a temp table first instead, we can get things from 18 hours to like a few minutes. And there were some really, really nice things. And I found some like other fun queries where like there was a totally unnecessary distinct was causing stuff to run for like 5 to 10 seconds. And without the distinct, it was like blazing fast. And then I found some other stuff where these things called performance spools, table spools, were making queries run for like 10, 12 seconds. And without them, they finish in like under a second. So it's really fun to realize. It's really fun to like get kind of back in the trenches a little bit and be like, oh, wow. Like, the stuff that I talk about isn't just malarkey that works in Stack Overflow. It's like generally applicable to people's stuff too. So it's been fun. Let's see. Do you have any plans to expand your services into BI? And absolutely not. No. That's just not my jam. I wish that I could find a way to like that stuff, but I don't know. It's like American whiskey. I can drink it if I'm drunk, but it's never gonna be my sipper. You know what I mean? How often do you see query store used in the wild? Not enough when I really want it, and too often when I shouldn't. So it's first of all, I love the idea of query store, but man, they've made that tough to turn on. Like by default, it just collects so much crap, and then when it's on and like you have a busy system, people are just like, that thing just like logging all that information is tough. That's some serious observer overhead. You're collecting query plans, you're collecting all sorts of metrics, and you're just dumping it into tables, and it's like, you think that's free? Busy system, man. Query store will mess you up, which sucks because it's like in theory, it is such a cool idea to have that like a persisted plan cache, right? Where like you can just get like endless reams of information from. That's like such a cool idea, but then you got to realize anything you do that collects that much, like especially that much XML and all the text from your queries. Oh, that hurts. So I totally understand why people don't have it turned on, but man, like when they don't and I see it, I'm like, oh, I wish I had you. But then I'm like, oh, I feel bad for people who turn you on, and then their server CPU is like smoking and like making grinding noises. Sorry. Oh man. All right. Someone say something. Someone say something funny. Tell me a joke. I could use a good laugh. Wonder if anyone sent me a good email. I got a suggestion that I should take like email and Twitter questions prior to doing this, and I'm fine with that because sometimes, it's not easy to fill like a half hour or so void. And so, like, if you want to, if anyone's watching this later and you want to send in like an email question, you can go to or a Twitter question. You can hit me up on the Twitter. You can welcome me to like 2005, finally getting on there, or you can shoot me an email via my website contact thing if you have a question that you would like answered here, but you just can't physically show up because you have you have work things or time zone things. I think Julie has a joke for me. Thank you, Julie. Why don't you see elephants hiding in trees? I don't know. Why don't you see elephants hiding in trees? This better be good. Because they are really good at hiding. Damn, that is funny. I didn't see that coming. I thought there was going to be a trunk joke in there. That was very good, though. I appreciate it. The longer I think about it, the more I like it. That's very good. Now I don't regret sending you stickers, Julie. Now I'm glad I sent those over to you. You know that, and you've made the famous Josh Darnell laugh. Josh Darnell of backups crashing SQL Server fame. You've made him laugh. So I don't know. Maybe you'll be famous too now. Maybe you can take that on the road. Yeah, you should just go home for the day. Go enjoy. Go enjoy. Go put stickers on stuff. Where did those stickers end up? Now I'm curious. Hopefully not in the trash. Hopefully it didn't seem like, oh, these are ugly. How do we get a sticker? You can send me an email. Well, you can contact me in some way that is private, where you don't mind sending your address, and I will stick some stuff in the mail there. And I get piles of these. Well, I have a good pile of these things. I have this many, so I can send out a few before bits. You know, who knows? I mean, maybe I'll go out of business, right? Just kidding. All those support contracts are good, written in stone. But yeah, Lily, shoot me an email or Twitter DM or something. I don't know. Figure it out. Notice Josh didn't ask for a sticker. He's too famous. What is that poster over my shoulder with the creepy guy? That poster is one of the most beloved people in my life, my friend Rue, and it's a list of things that Rue is good at. And it's a list. It was a collaborative list where me and other people who have equal amounts of adoration for this strange man put together a list of comical things that he is very good at. And I have proudly had that in every single office every single home office that I've had. So I guess that's like 2, but it's not going away. That's my jam. I will never show you I will never do a close up of the list. I'm not going to zoom in on the list, but that's what it is. He's an odd bird. He's great though. Would you like me to send you? Yeah. Do you have stickers? If you have stickers, I'll take stickers. Right now, the only sticker I have on my laptop is mine. Peel that other one off. I'm not giving any free promotion anymore. Yeah, take your autograph. You know, you and Forrest should autograph it. Then I'll just hold that over Joe's head. Make fun of Joe Obish for not having as much street cred as me. RavenDB stickers. Yeah, I know you like RavenDB. They tell you why indexes don't get used. Everyone else, SQL Server doesn't tell you that. SQL Server hides that from you. How's that issue going anyway? Do you have more votes on that? Is there a way you would detect a server spending too much time compiling queries? So that would go to 2 things. One is resource semaphore query compile as a wait. If you're running into that, then you do not have enough memory to adequately compile your queries at once. And the other would be sort of like a really unfortunate plan cache query. So if you look through SP Blitz Cache, there are parts where I pull out the compile time from cache plans. And I remember warning on that. Query Store has it as just a column value pulled out for you. So if you have Query Store turned on, you can look in Query Store. I forget which view it's in because I wrote the queries once for a reason, so I wouldn't have to remember all this stuff. But one of the views for Query Store has a compile time pulled out for you. If you just want to look at the plan cache itself, you could shred the compile time thing out of the XML and. I mean, but that would be awful though, because you like there's no way to like figure out which ones were bad from the beginning. But yeah, I think that's where I would start. So like when I think it's fun too, because when I think about that as a problem, I'm starting to wonder is it a plan caching issue where you're not reusing plans, and like you're spending a lot of time compiling new plan, like OLTP style, like compiling new plans as they come in, or like you have gigantic queries coming in and SQL Server is just like, whoa, we're gonna read this one close, right? They're gonna print this one out and go take a bathroom break. Big pile of votes, no response. Let's see. Did I click on that link? No, I just let people see it. Let me go in here. Explain. Yeah, 119 votes. Man, that's rough. You know what? I'm gonna make it 120. Don't tell anyone I double voted. Now I have a new voting. I have a new account for filing issues, so I get to double vote on that. Don't tell. 120 votes. Wow. Yeah, that would be cool. Come on, Microsoft. Who am I kidding? No one's watching this thing anyway. All right. I've been standing here for a half hour, and I need to go do something else for a minute. Thank you for coming and asking questions. And I will see you next week. Actually, I don't know. I'm trying to figure, because I'm going to be in Manchester for Bits next week. So I got to figure out how I'm going to do that. I don't know if I'm going to try to do it like at 12 Eastern, or if I'm going to try to do it at like bits noon. I haven't figured it out. I'll figure it out and I'll let you know. I will have an update on that. All right. I'll catch y'all later. I have to hit this button here. Thanks for coming. Thanks for asking questions. Yeah, you would make streaming difficult, Forrest.